Hey, Pulse listeners, this is Richard Mahalski. I will be bringing you the movies and entertainment stuff on Mondays. And with me will always be an esteemed panel, but my esteemed panel forgot today, so here's Chase Cormanek instead.
Hey, what's up?
He's not an esteemed panel, he is one single man. So how this is usually going to go down is we're going to talk for about 20 minutes about everything that just came out this weekend, seeing that it is Monday. For the second third of it, we're probably going to be talking about what's coming out the next weekend and like what our thoughts would be on that and all that stuff. And then the third will be us just talking about what we've watched recently. But since my esteemed panel forgot, and I'm going to hold that to them, we're just going to be talking just whatever we've seen recently, anything, like any recommendations we have for people. So on that note, I'm throwing it over to Chase. Chase, what have you been watching recently? Movies, TV, anything?
13 Reasons Why has been a big one on my list that I just started, the Netflix original.
All right, now what's that about for the people listening?
So that's about this girl at a high school who commits suicide, and she leaves these mysterious kinds of tapes, and they get passed around these people who are told that they're one of the reasons why she killed herself. And so it's all intertwined about that.
Yeah, I've watched the first episode, and I'm really intrigued. This seems kind of nuts.
It definitely seems a bit far-fetched. It's definitely far-fetched.
Not in that sense, but in the sense of I think it could happen. And if it did, I'd be creeped out just to hear a dead person's voice over a tape.
Yes, for sure.
Especially one that you knew pretty well.
Yeah.
But you would recommend it to people? Yeah, no.
Oh, for sure. Definitely, if you are looking for a good mystery / suspense kind of show, this is definitely one for those kinds of people.
There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to take over one, and I'm going to say Ghost in the Shell. A recent movie came out this past weekend. We would have talked about it if my panel was here. Told you I'd hold you to it. But, so Ghost in the Shell is starring Scarlett Johansson, and that's a topic I want to bring up in a second. But is about it's set in the future where everybody in the world has adapted to cybernetics. If you walk down the street, you'd see at least 10 people with like either a cybernetic arm or an eye or a liver or something. But what happens is there is a faction of the government creates the Major, played by Scarlett Johansson, and she is a human brain or ghost inside a synthetic body shell. Ghost in the Shell. And she learns through the movie that she may not be exactly who she thinks she is. And this was a beautiful movie, but disappointing. It looks gorgeous. Anything in the future, it felt like Blade Runner in the sense of just the future with like big holograms everywhere and all that stuff. But the movie itself was kind of boring. The first half, you feel like it's a police procedural, and you're really getting into this. You're like, okay, the villain is very villainy, and I really enjoy what they're doing. But then the second half becomes the Bourne Identity. Who am I? Who's keeping secrets from me? And from there, it goes downhill. I was disappointed by this.
So, future Bourne Identity, that's what I'm catching from.
The future Bourne Identity, except boring. The future Bourne Identity.
Oh.
Right there.
Play on the words.
But the topic I wanted to bring up was the fact that Scarlett Johansson is the lead role. Now, in the manga and anime, which this is based off of, the character's role, she's known usually as the Major, but her real name is Murako Kusanagi, and they got Scarlett Johansson to play her. Now, this topic, it's a little, I guess, controversial. They usually call it whitewashing. And Chase, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Just a person being cast in a role not specifically made for their race, whether it be for star power or just in general. What are your thoughts? Do you think they have to cast, or they should cast it as like the role?
So first of all, I personally haven't seen the movie yet. I've been waiting to get around to it. Where's this set in? Is this set in Asia?
Asia, I believe China, but
is she surrounded by other? Like, is she the only white person there? Essentially,
there's one or two other white people, but who are also supposed to be Asian. Like, there's a character named Bato, who in the show, of course, or not in the show, in the anime, which this is based off of, is an Asian man, but in this, he's just a big white dude.
So, does it show any other parts of the world, or is this...
No, it's all set in Asia, in like one town.
I find that strange. I think definitely you can definitely tell that whitewashing is becoming a part of the industry in terms of other movies, just because of household name and...
Yeah, exactly. Scarlett Johansson's your big household name, and they think that she's the one that's going to be bringing in the big bucks, and she didn't. This movie came in, I believe, third in the box office this weekend, but it's its opening weekend and opening up against not much, which was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
So, on that, I don't really recommend it. If you're going to watch it, wait until it comes out on like DVD or a Redbox or something. So, Chase, we're going to throw it back to you. What do you got?
What have I got? So, another thing that I've just hopped on the train again was Narcos Season 2.
All right, we go. I haven't seen any of Narcos, so don't spoil anything. I don't know if they've seen it. Again, don't spoil anything, but tell me, what do you like, what do you dislike?
Definitely recommend it if it's very crime, obviously, about Pablo Escobar. And it's very interesting, the perspective they play, how they can show both the inspector side and Pablo's side, and about how you kind of see him turn to greed, and, it's about his life, so you kind of know how it ends up. And
is a lot of this show, from what I've heard about it, is a lot of it in Spanish, or is there like a good mix between Spanish and English?
It's a pretty good mix because the investigators are American, so
okay.
It's a pretty decent mix. But yeah, I mean, you definitely learn to get used to reading the subtitles for the Spanish.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not myself a big subtitle reader.
Neither am I, but I was watching it. Then.
Yeah, and subtitles actually. Transitions me perfect into what I was going to talk about next, which is Trainspotting 2. Now, have you seen the first Trainspotting?
I have not.
You have not? Okay. So, it's funny that we're recording this on the day that we had a drug presentation.
Yeah.
Because the first Trainspotting, if you haven't seen it, is about one man and his group of friends, but the lead star is trying to get off of heroin.
Oh.
And all of the fun that entails.
Oh, really?
But it's a very... Trainspotting 2, you meet up with the characters 20 years later. Renton, Spud, Sick Boy, and Bigsby, I believe are the 4 characters' names.
Ewan McGregor, huh?
Yeah, Ewan McGregor is Renton. And this movie is a lot different from the previous one. The previous one, they're all skinny and scrawny and all on heroin.
Yeah.
And, very, it's a very dirty movie. And if you've seen the movie, when I say dirty, I mean the toilet scene. The dirtiest toilet in Sweden. Or Scotland. One of the two. It's Scotland.
Yeah.
But this second one, they've all cleaned up. It's 20 years later. Renton, who's the main character, comes back to Scotland after being away. And something that I had picked up on in this movie was the fact that since they're all clean for a majority of the movie, everything in the movie is cleaner. Like, there are beautiful, long, colorful shots, when in the first one it was all dirty and grimy and as if everything was on heroin. Yeah, Chase is showing me a picture right now of...
Is that the toilet scene?
That is the toilet scene. It's Oof.
That was rough. I actually need to go see this. This looks good. I'm a big fan of Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, he's a pretty solid actor, I'd say. But yeah, Trainspotting 2. If you like the original, definitely this is a big recommend for me. I'm gonna do a little shameless plug right here. YouTube, Richard Mahalski. I do plenty of movie reviews if you want my more in-depth thoughts. But there you go. I will be plugging that at the end as well. Chase, back over to you. Tell me something you've been watching, something you've watched. It could be like as long ago as you want, as long as you just recommend it or not recommend it. I don't care.
Yeah, Black Mirrors is another one that I burned through the first 3 seasons that were already out. Now I've been waiting in great anticipation for the next season to come out.
Black Mirror. How about you tell the folks at home what this is?
This is, from what I see it as, it kind of takes situations and ideas that we have today and kind of evolves them into what happened. Evolves them into what they can become in the future and plays them out in very dramatic ways, I'd say.
Yeah, so it's basically an anthology series, except instead of each season being a different story, it's each episode. And each one has to do, in some form or another, with technology and bringing people to their lowest lows. And it's the worst of humanity, but sometimes the best of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only, when he says he's blown through 3 seasons, it's a British show, so the seasons are like 3 or 4 episodes each. I think the longest season is 6 episodes.
Yeah, it is.
And the beautiful thing about the show is that you can go and just watch any episode. You don't have to watch any of them before, any of them after. Just pick out an episode or 2 to watch, and it's really cool just to be able to do that.
That's what I did. I would read the description of it, and I just kind of go from there and see what I thought.
Do you have a favorite episode?
It's a really close tie between. I really liked White Christmas.
Oh man, you think, because every show has their Christmas episode, and it's all cheery and Christmassy, but this is not. This is just as dark, if not a little bit darker than it usually is.
It's a tie between that one, and I really enjoyed Playtest. I thought Playtest was really interesting.
Which one was Playtest?
That's the one where, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but this guy...
You can give like the basic summary of it. It's not.
He leaves, so it's this guy, and he leaves his home where his mom lives to go to his own little tour of Europe and stuff like that. And so then he runs out of money, and he hears about this quick way to make some money by testing out this video game by this famous game designer. And it just it plays out this crazy. They put this chip in his brain to make the game seem more realistic, and he's famous for making horror games.
Yeah, so virtual reality horror games.
Yes.
And this is just the next level of it.
Indeed.
It is a nuts episode. Especially if you're into horror.
Indeed.
Now, I'm going to throw it over to another movie that it's been out for a long while, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it. Get Out. Chase, have you seen Get Out?
I have not, but I've heard fantastic reviews about it. I've heard it's mind-boggling.
It's a really fun movie. And what I mean by that is, for those of you who don't know what it is, I'm actually looking up a summary right now so I don't spoil anything. Or not a summary, like a little synopsis. A young black man visits his white girlfriend's family estate when he learns that many of the residents who are black have gone missing, and he soon learns the horrible truth when a fellow black man on the estate warns him to get out. He soon learns this is easier said than done. Now, Jordan Peele, half of Key and Peele, directed this movie, and it's not a comedy. There's a lot of comedy in it. Oh, enough comedy in it, but it's a thriller, and it is nuts. I also quick want to mention before I finish up on Get Out, anything that we've talked about, anything you want us to talk about, leave in the comments down below. We'd love to hear what you guys thought. If you're on YouTube, leave in the comments down below. I don't know if iTunes has it. I don't know if we're on iTunes. I just record. I don't make the videos.
Indeed.
But yeah, so
I have a question.
Yes.
Have you seen The Visit?
I have seen The Visit.
Is it anything that's is it kind of reminiscent of that kind of feel in that sense of a thriller? I mean, obviously it's a very weird movie. It's very quirky,
it's reminiscent in the sense where there's weird things going on, and you know that the person probably should get out, but there's not like an easy way to it.
Right.
But what this movie does that The Visit doesn't, because it can't, is it pokes at some social commentary. The fact that it's a black man going to a white woman's family estate.
Yeah.
And a lot of it deals with passive racism. So it's not like somebody's...
Like blatant, yeah.
Yeah, it's not blatant or anything, but it's like... It's when people are trying to be racist, but they are not trying... When people are not trying to be racist, but then somehow are by word choice. And she brings that up the white girlfriend brings that up in the movie saying, yeah, my parents are like incredibly white. I'm sorry about this. We're going to get through the weekend. But there's a point where where the black boyfriend meets one of the family friends who used to be a professional golfer. He's like, yeah, I don't do it much, but I love Tiger Woods. Tiger's a big fan. I love him. He's a great guy. And you're like, that's awkward. It just feels awkward, the passive racism. You're like, I know you're not trying to be, but in a way you are. And it's kind of awkward. But in the end, it's a really interesting movie. A lot of fun, especially if you got to see it with a crowd. If you still can catch it, go see it. Go see it with friends. It's a lot of fun. Back over to Chase. What do you got?
Yeah. So one movie that I saw not so recently, but I just wanted to stop on it was Split.
Oh, Split!
Another M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I love Split.
I thought that movie was just insane.
All right. Give a little description to the people.
So that's there's this guy, and he has this mental disorder where his brain has just he's got multiple different personalities, and they each can change his physical traits and mental traits and things like that.
I believe he has 23, and the way they explain that in the movie is if your brain believes something to a point, then it can actually happen. Like, I believe there's one character that has diabetes and one that doesn't, and you're like, that's really interesting. And keep giving the summary. I interrupted.
Yeah. And like when it comes to physical, like he does have a doctor that he goes to see, or it's kind of like a therapist, because she doesn't really affect. She can only talk with each of the different personalities, but she talks of one. She mentions one person who has this disorder where like most of the person's personalities are blind, but there's two that aren't, and so
it's so basically finishing up the plot from there. The guy with 23 split personalities abducts 3 girls, keeps them captive, and then they have to escape. Again, another movie where you just have to get out. Before a 24th personality in his mind becomes unleashed, one that's incredibly dangerous, and they call it the Beast. Mm-hmm. Now, as known with a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies, this one doesn't have a twist, more of a reveal at the end. Did you catch on to it?
I totally caught it, and I loved it.
It goes... I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but it is a great reveal. It made some of the things that you were thinking in the movie, like, that's a little ridiculous. It justified it in a whole way. Sorry. And it's definitely I don't know if it's still in theaters anymore.
I'm not sure. But if you're a fan of M. Night Shyamalan's work, I would definitely go check it out.
Oh yeah, it is something else. It is so much fun. I guess we're throwing it back over to me. So, what else have I seen recently? I don't know, Chase. I'm throwing it back over to you so I can think of something.
Give me a second here.
All right. I know this is high quality entertainment you guys are listening to right now, just us
Indeed.
thinking.
Oh, I did see Hands of Steel. Or Hands of Stone, sorry.
What is Hands of Stone? I have not seen that.
It's about this guy named Roberto Duran, he's from Panama.
Ooh.
From the time when there's great tension between the U.S. and Panama over who should control the canal.
Uh-huh.
And it's just about him, how it shows his childhood whenever he has to deal with the U.S. soldiers and things like that, and how he grows up to become just one of the greatest boxers of all time.
You call this Hands of Stone?
Hands of Stone, yes.
All right, I'm gonna look this up real fast.
It's Robert De Niro's in it.
Ooh.
Yes.
How is it? Is it good? Is it?
I enjoyed it. It's got for me, I felt like it was kind of a narcosy feel with the way he kind of does it. A lot of flair and a lot of greed. At some points, it's I can almost relate it back to kind of a Panamanian Rocky with the way that he was a hero for the Panamanians.
Okay.
And it was something else. It was definitely. It was just one of those good fighter movies that you see. You know what I mean? Just one of those ones where just classic.
There's a fighter movie that came out probably, was it November? That nobody saw, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't great or anything. It was as predictable as they get, but it was called Bleed for This. It was based on a true story, which I think Hands of Stone was as well.
Yes.
About this guy who he's a big time boxer back in, I don't know how long ago it was, but he suffers some massive trauma in a car accident, and it's all about and the doctors say, dude, you're never gonna walk again. There's no way you can.
I did hear about this.
You got bad spinal stuff, but then he does end up walking again, and he starts fighting again. And then there's the big fight at the end. Everybody knows how it's going to go because it's predictable. There's only so many ways you can go with a big fight at the end.
It's a boxing movie.
Exactly. But it's enjoyable. It's definitely out on DVD or Blu-ray right now. Definitely go give it a watch. I think you'd enjoy it if you enjoy some of the cheesier Rocky movies. This is supposed to be a drama, but it comes off at sometimes a little cheesy. Yeah, so that's a must recommend. Let's see. We are 23 minutes in.
I have not seen this, but have you seen a series of Unfortunate Events?
I have not. The Netflix show?
Yeah, I haven't heard much from it, but it seemed intriguing.
Isn't it based on a book series?
It is.
Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Yes, that'd be the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that, at all. I feel like I should, but I don't. Another
one that I'm just gonna jump on real quick is it's an older one, but it just recently came out on Netflix. Was Sinister.
Ooh, Sinister.
That was I recently watched that one, and if you're into a lot of kind of bloody, kind of very. It's kind of a cheesy but good kind of cheesy almost.
There are moments in that movie where you know exactly what's going to happen.
Right.
It happens and it still terrifies you.
Yes.
It is nuts. Why don't you give the nice people at home a description of what's going on?
So this guy writes about murders. He writes about crime and those kinds of things.
And he is played by Ethan Hawke.
Yes. And so what his family, so he talks about his kind of past where he's moved in, near these houses, not quite so close to as he does in this particular case where he moves inside the house where this family died. And slowly. Well, he goes up to the attic one day and he finds this box of tapes, these really old films, and he slowly uncovers and watches how he thinks that all these different murders are somehow connected by a paranormal,
this entity.
Yeah, an entity. Thank you. They're all kind of intertwined with this entity that's behind it all, I guess.
Yeah, it is terrifying.
Yes,
to say the least.
Jump scares are not everywhere, but they are good. They are very
and that I usually hate jump scares because there was this movie I saw a while back. Nobody saw this movie. It was bad. It was real bad. Called Shut In, and there are scenes in this movie where it's just a jump scare. And it's a bird or like a cat or something. And you're like, I could see that coming 10 miles away.
Yeah.
The only reason I moved a little in my chair was because there was a big loud thing of music with it.
Yeah.
And that is the dumbest thing. But in something like Sinister or something like The Conjuring, when you can have jump scares as long as it is actually something to be afraid of, not just
cats and dogs.
Yeah, not cats and dogs. Paranormal Activity is the worst offender of that.
I love those kinds of movies, but they get me. They do get me.
I could rant about jump scares my entire life, but I'm going to stop.
Right.
Let's see, what else? What's on Netflix recently besides those things that you've brought up that you want to check out or something?
Well, The Jungle Book, the new Jungle Book.
Oh man, that is such a good movie.
It is. That's one that I've been kind of glancing at. And also, I was just looking at it. I never got around to, Pete's Dragon. It may be a kid's movie, but it looked kind of
I saw that too, yeah. So I've recently, during spring break, everybody's out, everybody's in Florida or out of the country or out of the sport. And I didn't. I was kind of sitting at home like, what do I do with my life? I watch so much Netflix. So I recently, I did watch Pete's Dragon and The Jungle Book. What Disney's been doing recently is they've been taking some of their old properties and putting them, or most of their old animated properties, and remaking them in a live-action setting. So, like, with actual humans and stuff.
Right.
The Jungle Book does that incredibly because the Jungle Book cartoon has almost nothing to it. It has great songs and all that stuff. But besides that, you're like, tell me the plot of the Jungle Book.
Oh, yeah. So it's this kid, and doesn't he get, he gets interested with, he wants to go back with humans or something like that? Is it something like that? I can't really
That's remember. The point. Nobody remembers what the plot of the original Jungle Book was because it's forgettable, but they do a really good job in this movie. It's really good. Same thing with Pete's Dragon. I don't think that was an animated one to begin with, but they remade it, and it's really fun. It's, again, predictable as always.
Super light, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But, and they also recently did it with Beauty and the Beast. And that was a solid flick. I'm not going to get too much into it because the plot is basically the plot of the cartoon, which everybody should know. I heard
everything, though, is just well polished. I heard the music is very well done.
I love the music in that. They add a few new songs, and it is terrific. So, yeah, plot of Beauty and the Beast is literally the same plot as the cartoon. Everybody's terrific in it. And it's out in theaters right now. Definitely go check it out if you haven't. Really enjoyed it. You gotta go? One more.
I just want to bring up one more. The Siege of Jadaville.
What is
that?
Did
you see that?
No.
It's a Netflix original, and if you kind of like war movies, very good, very good. It's about these Irish peacekeepers who go to the Congo.
Yep.
And they're supposed to hold down this one tiny town, and it's about them, It's not quite as predictable, it kind of is, but it's very good,
Yeah, all right. So you got to get going.
Yep.
Do you got anything to plug? Any social media where people can find you and stuff?
Check me out on Instagram, cormac.chase.
There we go.
Very simple.
We hope to have you back on next time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to do a quick little roundup of what came out, what's coming out, and that'll take like 5 minutes, but it would usually be 40 minutes of the podcast. Chase, I will see you.
See ya.
Okay, so now I am alone with you freaks. Speaking of freaks and geeks, Netflix, check it out right now. It is to die for. So, what recently has come out, over the weekend came Ghost in the Shell, The Boss Baby, and Trainspotting 2. Ghost in the Shell. Very disappointing. I already gave my thoughts on that. The Boss Baby I didn't see because it was a nice weekend, and I got out of Trainspotting 2, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to waste more money on this. I'm going to save it and really, really not see it. Excuse me for a moment. Ken, how you doing?
Doing all right. Is everything going good in here?
Yeah, I'm just giving a quick little recap since Chase had to leave
I got you.
of just what came out, what's coming out. Are you here to join me?
Awesome. Yeah, I'll join you for a little bit.
All right, beautiful. So we were just talking what came out this past weekend. Ghost in the Shell, The Boss Baby, and Trainspotting 2.
Now, I heard Ghost in the Shell underperformed.
It definitely did, in the box office and in quality. Did you see anything this weekend?
I did not get the chance.
All right, great. Ghost in the Shell, underperformed. I've talked about that to death. The Boss Baby. Have you seen like commercials or something for this?
I have not. I watch your reviews every once in a while.
Thank you, but I did not go see The Boss Baby again. I didn't want to spend money on it. It was such a nice day out on Saturday. And finally, Trainspotting 2 came out this past weekend. I also gave my thoughts on that earlier. Have you seen the original Trainspotting, Ken?
Have not.
You have not? Okay. Yeah, so to sum it up, go see the original Trainspotting and then catch up Trainspotting 2. Now, we're just going to do a quick little what's coming out this weekend, and then I think that's it for today, just because this is kind of a test run of the entertainment podcast, and then we'll be good. So, the one big blockbuster coming out this weekend is the new Smurfs movie, Smurfs: The Lost Village. I do not care. I have nothing to say about the Smurfs. Never watched it as a kid and just am not interested. Are you at all interested in the Smurfs?
I am not at all interested in the Smurfs. I saw Smurfs 2.
Okay.
The one with the gray Smurfs. I don't think I saw it all the way through. But I remember thinking it was pretty stupid.
Yeah, I only saw the Smurfs 1. And this one is entirely animated, whereas the past two have been the Smurfs go to New York.
I do remember because Neil Patrick Harris was in that.
He was. I don't know why. He was doing so well on How I Met Your Mother, and then I guess he just needed another paycheck or something.
I guess.
Yeah, so Smurfs: The Lost Village. If you're interested, okay, go check it out and let me know. If you do go see it, comment below. I'm interested in what you guys think of it. Let's see, what else is coming out this weekend? Just some small things. Going in Style, which stars Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, and Alan Arkin. Plot synopsis: desperate to pay the bills and come through for their loved ones, three lifelong pals risk it all by embarking on a daring bid to knock off the very bank that absconded with their money. So, old Ocean's 11, except there's three of them, I guess. Do you have any interest in seeing this?
I do not. I'm going to be completely honest with everybody. I have not gotten to see as many movies this year as I have wanted to. The one that's at the top of my list right now that I haven't seen and I want to see is Get Out.
Oh, we talked about this.
Oh, yeah?
It was good. Definitely
I
go see that.
I need to.
Yeah. So, again, Going in Style. I might go check it out this weekend. We'll see. And then one final one is called Gifted. Frank, a single man raising his child prodigy niece Mary, is drawn into a custody battle with his mother. Sure, this could be boring. Chris Evans is in the lead, and Chris Evans is a talent. But this could be really boring or really sweet. I don't know. Any thoughts?
I do not. No thoughts on that.
There we go. All right. So that's about to do it for the show.
Now, I do have one final topic, though.
Oh, okay.
I think
Let's hear it.
whereas this should be probably a pretty short topic,
So
but
never mind then.
you know, I was thinking with Star Wars Celebration coming up, the Episode 8 trailer is probably imminent at this point. I think we can say. And over the weekend, I was watching Episode 7. So my question for you is, as I know a fellow big Star Wars fan, does Episode 7 still hold up?
I think it does. I think it was what was needed. It was the gateway back into this saga. You got introduced to really cool new characters like Rey, Poe, and Finn, and BB-8.
Mm-hmm.
But my question now is, where do they go?
Yeah.
If Episode 8 is just a retread of Episode 5 and 9 is just a retread of 6, I'm going to say this trilogy was a waste. But I think it was a good story to reintroduce us into the saga, and I just want to see where it goes from here.
I agree with you on that. I always tell people, I always say I tentatively adore Episode 7, but if Episode 8 is like Empire, then we're going to have some problems.
We probably will. Just make it your own, Ryan Johnson, who is not listening to this at all. So that's about does it. We'll be back on next week. We'll do this a lot more professionally. We'll actually have a schedule, but as I said before, I think I said at least, my panel did not show up. They forgot, which is great. So Chase was a great help, and Ken, especially coming in at the end. Ken, where can people find you on social media or anything?
You can find me on Twitter at BluesWantTheCup, and I don't check up on my Instagram too much anymore, but I think that is at SLUH_Ken.
All right. Also, find Ken on the SLUH Pulse on Wednesday, talking sports. What do you got planned?
You know what? We're thinking about, we got Dom Skroska lined up for sure, Charlie Shabelhut lined up for sure, and we're going to try to talk about the upcoming playoffs, the start of the MLB, and I don't know, we might go into the Masters a little bit. I know I'm interested in the Masters. That just depends if my co-hosts are going to be interested. All
right, and I'm Richard Mahalski as always. I'll be back with you guys next Monday. Are we doing a Friday episode since we're not on school?
That is not scheduled yet.
All right, so there might be a Friday episode. I might be a part of it. We will see. Find me on Twitter and Instagram, Rich_Mahalski, and find me on YouTube, just Richard Mahalski. As always, you guys, I will see you next time.